All right, traders. Hey, welcome on back to here this Tuesday, December 30th. Great to have all of our students and members back rejoining us. I'll tell you what, a little light here inside our live trading room, but we have a bunch of new trial members testing our room out for this week. I see Vasanti, I see Cecil, I see a few more of us just testing our room out here as well as students, George, Kate, Lawrence, Grant, got Leda, Uday, all of us here just joining us right now. So without further ado, hop right into it here. So just even before we started this meeting, just kind of pretty thin out there, not just in our room, but across the whole market. Not a whole lot out there heading into the end of the calendar year, right? I mean, people are away with their families. Think of it that way, right? But even if you're just at home, it's just to say there's things that aren't really moving the way that we would expect them to or hope for them to on a normal day. We're still in the holiday season, right? So just before at least, hey, this is something that I had my focus around the SOPA trade here. It would need to flip resistance into support 345 to 350 if it wants to go later on, right? And I made that comment about like 30 minutes ago, 35 minutes ago. And since, well, up until this last candle, things were looking all right. It was knocking on that door. It was starting to move over it and move off of it. Now the question is, now with the shakedown, can we keep with higher lows? And I think that we're starting to get the answer to that question here coming up now. Listen, if you're Leto, Day, Grant, Lawrence, any of our students here with us from earlier, if you're with us live before, you know the theme of the day. And of course, if I were to take a bet on it, I'm actually it's here right now. Seeing these orders popping up on the ask out of thin air. Just, when a stock's looking good, it seems like everything's going off to a nice, decent start. And then just out of thin air, bam, big sell order showing up. And this actually appeared a little bit prior, like right before we started the meeting. Perhaps it was even from the 425. I think it was that person from 425 just doing a little lining up there. But either way, when you have that type of selling pressure being pushed down, injected, it's tough to expect the stock to run. That has been the theme all throughout the day today. That's what made today a little tough to at least get a nice trade off up until the EKSO. What was it? Is that it? Yeah, the EKSO. The EKSO, thank goodness for this thing. This thing ended up making a nice move. It took a little while for it to make the better breakout, the pop of the highs, but this was where I ended up getting my bread buttered here and a few of our students as well. From the 9 level, a little above 9 if you didn't get it in from the first call out. But otherwise, this kept doing the job. It kept flipping resistance into support, right? Right around that 975 to 10 level. And that's what we were saying to you as well, basically, in the sense of just, hey, if we want this to continue to move up higher, we got to see that resistance flip into a support. I got halted pretty shortly afterwards from there too. So that was at 10:30 in the morning as we were wrapping up our morning audio broadcast. Hey, if you're a new member testing our room out, welcome aboard. We do audio during 2 times of the day, morning, afternoon. Coming up at 3 o'clock, we'll be back. But otherwise, a huge focal point for you should be to follow the call outs that we're making there for you. Fausto himself, then myself here as well, alongside certain students. But just, this was just where we were saying if it could blast above 10, the hope is to see that flip into support next, 975 to 10. I'm talking about this right here. So flawless execution. And even for right now, it's actually kind of holding up here, isn't it? Watch, you're going to see a new sell order showing up on this thing now, too. Let's check out level 4 briefly for this. Hey, there's been something out there at 12 all afternoon, and then just now it looks like there actually is something at 11:50 popping up right now as we're talking. We'll come back to it at the end of this meeting. I don't expect for this to make the better run. This is a low float pump and dump stock. We've traded the stock over the many years that we've been here, at least, any of our longer time students that have been with us for a little while. I don't think that we traded this in the last 52 weeks, but otherwise you could just take a look long term. Not really a big winner, right? Really since like 2021, 2020 time there. So yeah, for right now, we'll even come back to it by the end of this meeting here. But that's kind of been the theme this afternoon. We'll just check out the market here collectively, SPY, whole bunch of nothing. And that's okay. That's actually all right as long as we're remaining over support, right? We had a resistance around that 686, 687 area, knocking on that door. It was stubborn here back in mid-December. Then heading into just obviously the end of last week, big pop. And now we got to see if that can flip into support. So far, so good. So far, so good there, right? I mean, hey, if the SPY does nothing from now until the end of the calendar year by tomorrow, fine by me. Better that than down. So Nvidia not really doing much. Amazon not much there. Apple, a little slow burn up there for the time being, but not as impressive. Google. So that's just where I'll tell you at least. Don't try and force any trades out there. You want to have patience. Patience definitely helps you kind of taper emotion, curb emotion a bit, and makes you not care as much about missing a little tiny little thing. It's just a trade on a day, but especially today. This is one of the more passive trading days of the calendar year. So that's where you definitely want to be more patient rather than like trigger happy and like trying to take 50, 60 trades today. That lunacy. You're gonna have death by 1,000 paper cuts trying to do that typically. So that's just where otherwise. Let's see if there's anything that can fall into our lap here coming on up. We'll run the gainers and losers list. I mean, the EKSO we said we'd come back to at the end. AEHL had a good pop this morning, and it's actually trying to do something a little bit right now, trying to go back up since like 1:30, 1:45 in the afternoon. It doesn't hurt for us to put it on our list again. Just the only thing is A, it's below the VWAP, and then also you got a seller out there too. Hey, no surprise with what we just said. The theme of the day, right? Seeing these big sell orders popping up out of thin air and just squashing the stock shortly afterwards. This men's trade going up a little bit. I like the chart. Order book pretty thin for like a $4 stock. So I'll add it for right now. Just hopefully the order book fills in even more. Probably not going to expect to see that, at least on a day like today. CETX trying to go back up. Wow. All right. So I took a loss on this trade earlier today. This was one of two losses I had today. Just it wasn't the right time, obviously. I was looking for the better breakout over 325. It was a whole thing I was going over with all of our students in coaching today, private coaching. And well, hey, if it's not going to make that big move going up, it's going to make a big move, right? Like we say, if it's not going to make a big move in our direction, it's going to make a big move in our not direction. So I ended up getting stopped out on this at 308. It was actually like maybe like 10 minutes before the larger drop happened. It was pretty much here. But at that point, though, collapsed afterwards. It is what it is. But now at this stage, it's actually coming back up. Wasn't really expecting that part. I'm not too interested in this unless if it gets over 325. That's my stance. So we'll put it on our side list. We'll come back to it if we really need to. But I would be very confident in that over 325, but not confident before that. SOPA, again, still trying to lay over that 345 level for right now. So does it hurt for us to put this back on our list? No, doesn't hurt. I mean, let's keep going for right now, and hopefully it can stay above that price. 8XTI, order book, not bad. Just kind of flat, though. A little flat, lower highs right now. Probably a decent chunk you just got to sift through here pretty quick. RDW, a little timely pop right now. Just some big volume kicked in about 10 minutes before this meeting started. So, I appreciate the afternoon move, the afternoon volume. This could be the beginning of something here. Calm before the storm. All right. Everything else, a whole bunch of blah. Under Armour, never really a great trade. Gonna pass on that. MSOS up a little bit. SIDU is a dud early on today. I saw one of our students mention Ondas again, ONDS. I love this stock whenever it moves. So who is that earlier today that had mentioned the ONDS trade? That was Tim, I think. Leda, Grant, Tim. A few of us were on top of that. Tim talking about the ETF for it. Yeah, I mean, hey, we're going to keep this on our B list. Definitely a tradable stock, just not for this afternoon, I feel, but come back to it tomorrow. Probably say the same on ASTS, a little bit more expensive, thinner book for that reason, but same deal, pretty good sideless stock. And that takes me to silver. So silver had a really strong bounce back up today, didn't it? So SLV held a trend line, built a Fausto flag, broke out nicely. PAS, not really doing a whole lot there. We don't need to trade every single silver ticker ETF collectively, only when they're moving well. So we do like the PAS trade as a swing, But like more on the volatility side of things for like day trading, SLV is like kind of really all you need. It's just that if this becomes a little more expensive for you, then maybe you focus on just a cheaper silver ETF. Like, this is a trust here, but PSLV, I guess it's $25. Better that than 70. But that would kind of be the line of thinking there. But for right now, we'll just focus on SLV. Vizsla, another silver stock there. All right, let's go over to the loser side and see if there's anything looking just as good as a short. Volume filter checks out. That's good. Rivian down 5+% here and lower highs. Looks like it's like maybe trying to set up for a Fausto flag. So, you know what? Not a bad shot here. Maybe if this could break lower, be a decent little short trade. Otherwise, it has been on a good run as a day trade, as a swing trade. As a swing trade, it's been on a nice run. So if this doesn't really break much lower, maybe this could be the beginning of a swing bounce in due time, a couple days, give it some time there. But that's how we kind of go about that. But for right now, follow the trend down intraday. And, well, that's kind of all I got here for you folks. I mean, that's really it from the loser side for right now. I mean, silver's up, ZSL down. All right, Michael, Grand Kathleen, you got Jim here. You got Jim here. I got a message, Jim. I got to talk to you on the side, Jim. What happened to meeting up with you in Florida, my friend? See you over in St. Petersburg, actually. So hopefully I look to meet up with you soon. A few more of us, though. Otherwise, if you have any other stocks you want me to look at here, let me know, and then we'll finish up from here. A SOPA trade, it's on our list still for right now, as long as it stays over that 345 line in the sand. That was a nasty shake just before in that one candle. So let's make sure it plays nice from that point forward. XPEV, SoFi, not a whole lot else out there, guys. So you know what? If we really did everything and scanned through everything up and down, then we're good to go. How is the TE order book? Well, typically TE has a good spread, just a matter of direction. So intraday, it's not really going anywhere right now, Uma, but typically it's going to have at least a good spread, filled in orders out there. So I like it when it moves. Vuzi, it's moving a little bit. It's at the highs. So breaking above last week's high too, right? Back in the 24th or 23rd, whatever day that is. So you know what? Decent shout, Lewis. I'll put it on our list here. Vuzi trade, tradable, and at the highs there. Better direction at least. Probably still like not trading a ton of volume, but it's like one of those stocks that you could say like, oh, so you're saying there's a chance, huh? So we'll take it. All right, folks. So, hey, again, if you're a trial member testing our room out here, hey, keep in mind, we're just going to be back on the mic just shortly after 3 o'clock. We do audio broadcasts 2 times during the day from 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern, and then from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern. Those are the 2 hottest times of the day for us as active traders to jump in and out of these things. So I will mention as well, I don't like being the guy that tells people what not to do. Don't do this, don't do that. No, but seriously, we have a bunch of new trial members here. We hope that you enjoy your time with us, but we do not want you to be trading our picks. These picks are for students and members here that have gone through our classes already. Lewis, Uma, Grant, Wendy, Yehuda, Bill, a lot of our students here. I just see in the chat right now. But just to say, though, we hope that you enjoy your time with us, and we want you to at least ask questions and have an inquisitive eye and follow the chat, follow these call outs, see if this is something that's compatible for you. It's not necessarily compatible for anyone. Any style of trading is not necessarily compatible for everyone, right? It's like going to a coffee shop. You're going to order your own cup of coffee, and if you like it, perfect. That's what we want. So at least here, we hope that you enjoy, ask questions, and otherwise, make sure that you get in touch with your education advisor. They're going to be the middleman, middlewoman, the intermediary between you and Fausto, or you and myself as well. I'll be back on the mic personally at 3 o'clock, shortly after 3 o'clock there. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. But otherwise, hey, if you see something, say something, students. And again, we'll be back on in just a bit.